Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a stupid idea for you? Have you ever felt that there was too much choice in your grand strategy game? I know I haven't. But anyway, the premise of this video is that you're only allowed to build one ground unit, one air unit, and one naval unit. Oh yes, it's a mono battle. I think I'll be a bit more precise though about that. Here are the exact rules. So, for ground units, the divisions you make, you've got units that are battalions and units that are companies. I think I counted 24 different battalion types in the game that are not special forces, i.e., you can build as many as you want. And there's 6 or 7 types of companies that you can attach. Basically, what I'm doing is plugging those into a random number generator and randomly selecting one type of division and one type of company. For the air, what I'm doing is just picking one of every class of aircraft, whichever one I get by random draw is the only one I can build. And as regards ships, basically the same thing, but with one little problem, and that's submarines. Because most of the classes of ships in the game can't do anything to submarines, only destroyers and light cruisers can, and I didn't know about light cruisers since the whole man the guns update. Or ironclad update, my bad. Anyway, so what it's going to be for that is one random ship type plus destroyer, because you need destroyer to defend against submarines, or else you can't sail. It just won't work. Otherwise, though, I've kept destroyer in the rotation, so if I roll destroyer, then nothing but destroyer is fine. Other than that, though, one type of ship plus destroyer. I thought it was appropriate to start this one off as Germany because, they're the baby faction. If Hearts of Iron 4 has a protagonist, it's Germany. At least it's Nazi Germany, which is kind of an odd thing to say about a game, but that's how it is. So we'll play as Germany, there's a lot of flexibility, and I'm sure whatever unit it gives us we'll be able to manage, probably. Alrighty, I've gone online to the old RNG generator, and I've entered all my numbers and rolled the dice, and this is what I've come up with. For the battalions, they're going to be heavy tank artillery. Okay, um, so right there, this is going to be an expensive one. The company I got was anti-tank, which I'm pretty happy with. That complements artillery pretty well, actually. For the air, I got heavy fighter, which I'm not really happy about because it sucks. And then for naval, I actually got one of the two unique German ship types that I put in to the random number generator. Because they get coastal battleship, which is what your two starting battleships are, and you get Panzerschiff, which is, the Graf Spee. And I think the Deutschland was a Panzerschiff as well. Anyway, it's like a more heavily armed and armored heavy cruiser. So that's what I got. So it's going to be for naval, Panzerschiff and destroyer. For air, pure heavy fighter. For support companies, anti-tank. For all the battalions in the army, heavy tank artillery. It's beautiful. Let's go. Now the funny thing about this opening for Germany is that it's all fucked because I can't produce any of my battalions or companies or aircraft yet because I haven't researched them. So the research, oh wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? There we go, that's better. I have to research the heavy artillery, and I have to research the fighter, and I also have to research anti-tank, which I've also forgotten about. Be right back. Your boy's a straight up fool. But there we go. We can begin construction of all those things that are, well, everything that we can build. We can build Panzerschiffs, and if you direct your eyes over to the production tab, you can see that we have one under construction. We'll just crank up, maybe not 11. Well, who the hell cares? Anyway, a bunch of destroyers. I've canceled all military factory because, man, we can't produce anything, man. That's messed up. Um, as for the standing forces, I think I'm just going to group them all and stick them on exercise. I really think if I disband the army right now, it's just going to cause problems down the line. And you know what? I'll snap up some juicy army XP while I'm at it. Oh, and it goes without saying, all I'm building is refineries. Because, like, everything is going to run on fuel, man, and that's going to get pretty messed up. Hey, now we're in business. We got the heavy SPG-1 queued up, and now all we need to secure is the entire world supply of tungsten. That'll do it. Thanks, Turkey. I didn't need those consumer factories anyway. Entirety of Germany's industrial might. Making 6.55 tanks a week? Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. Now, unlike virtually every other time you play this game, I didn't go Rhineland first. Going down the army innovation route because I have a secret plan. Well, we're halfway through the first year and we've got 157 tanks, so that's good, I guess. We're producing anti-tank, we're producing heavy fighter. We've got them panzer shifts coming out. I wouldn't worry about it. I think we got this. I guess it's not really a secret weapon if it's going to be up in the research queue for 800 days. Look, I'm going to rush the Tiger. If all I can build is heavy artillery tanks, then we'll go Tiger. We'll research the Sturmtiger. I'm doing this with the research bonuses I got by going the army route early. We'll be fine. 1939 will roll around and it's going to be hell for the Allies. Late October 1936, and we're really picking up speed. We're up to 2.6 tanks a day, 440 in storage. Alrighty, it's New Year's Day 1937, 10 o'clock in the morning. 647 tanks. I've got an idea, and it's predicated on the fact that we finally have army experience, and that is to create our first actual heavy tank artillery division. Let's hop on over to the old recruit and deploy. And here we are, it's time to give the Panzer Division a makeover. And there you have it. There's our first Panzer Division. I didn't have enough XP as it turned out to turn the artillery into anti-tank. That'll have to come in a couple months. But that's what it's going to look like. And it looks like it uses a grand total of 96 heavy artillery pieces per division, or large brigade in this case. So we can probably field about 7 of them now. We'll see how that goes. I've actually just had a much stupider idea that really tickles my fancy, and that's just to turn all 30 of our pre-existing divisions into these ones, for which we will need 2,880 heavy SB artillery. So, it'll get done some point. We'll get the towed artillery. Actually, the towed artillery is going to be no problem. But the rest of this, God, who knows. Another half year gone, and we're still working our way towards the Tiger. It's all going great right now, man. No problems here. Nope, definitely no problems here. Oh yeah, it's kicking off in China. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, okay, there we go, get the actual notification. Because now we're going to go to China and give them all our shit. What, you're telling me you don't remember the time that Hitler gifted the entirety of the Luftwaffe and the Wehrmacht's infantry arsenal over to the Chinese when the Japanese invaded? Oh, you're not reading the right history books, man. Oh my god, I'm looking at the Lend-Lease details, and in a single month we shipped basically the entirety of our infantry and air arsenal to China. There's like 8 bombers waiting in Germany to be transported and like 200 rifles. My god, that is going to make Japan very angry indeed. Well, the good news is we've got 60 of these divisions. The bad news is that we're nearly 5,000 tanks short. This is going to be a little more difficult than I thought it would be. Oh my god, China's kicking Japan's ass. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. I don't know why I like funneling guns to China. It just amuses me so much in this game. I guess I've played it long enough and I've seen China lose virtually every game I don't do it. And I just sometimes like to make Hirohito cry. Basically, the German civilian economy exists to buy tungsten from Turkey. But hell, it's going okay. We're up to 84 divisions, which are equipped with, I would estimate, about 25% of the equipment they need, so that's pretty terrible, actually. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the game, what you have to do to begin the Anschluss of Austria is get to an army in the field of 350,000. Now, normally that would be extremely easy to do, but because we're all building extremely expensive tanks that don't require large amount of men to man them, we're quite behind. And that's why I'm pumping out divisions like crazy, because man, we gotta Anschluss, and we gotta get those Sudetenlands, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, I'm terribly wrong. It's actually 550k manpower. Okay. Alright, maybe drastic measures are required. It's conceivable that we can get the 550k we need for the Anschluss, but I don't think it's conceivable we're going to get the 775k for the Sudetenland thing. Honestly, I think I'm going to skip the queue. We're going to justify war on ye old Czechoslovakia. Yep, they're going to go down. They're also guaranteed by Romania, which could be interesting because it could mean that we are dragging Romania into a war, which would be border gore in the extreme, but we'll see how that turns out. Well, it took 2.5 years, but we finally got the Tiger. And that just means we have to move on to the Sturmtiger for another 105 days. Hell yeah. It's been a while since I checked in with China, and you know what? It's definitely stabilized here. The Japanese aren't overwhelmingly winning, but I don't know if the Chinese are going to win in the long run. But I did my part, so I guess I'm happy with that. It's a glorious day because today we're switching over to Sturmtiger production, and the increased cost thereof will cripple us, but hell, it'll be fun. Well, it's a month and a half until the justification for war finishes, i.e., when the war begins, and I've been doing some stuff. I've picked 48 of our quote unquote tank divisions and trained them to at least regular veterancy and put them under panzer generals. I promoted Guderian to field marshal. He, Rommel, and Manstein are going to attack, and it may work, it may not. We will see. But I've also, over here, put Bubby in charge, that is to say Eric Hartmann, in charge of the 200 night fighters that I had available. So they're going to go and fight over Czechoslovakia, and they may succeed. God, who knows? I really have very, very low hopes for this this save file. I hope it'll work, but we'll see. No, that's not right. I ought not say low hopes, low expectations. I mean, Christ, we're 10,000 tanks in the hole. we're not we're not anywhere close to where I wanted us to be, but well, we're trying, and we have, in all fairness, 276,000 men in the field. That's pretty good given that all of them are using tanks. Honestly, I'm not even mad because I made my own damn bed and now I'm lying in it. And honestly, it should be interesting if nothing else.